Y'all, this is a wall air conditioning unit. In order to clean it, I have to remove it from its sleeve by pulling it out of the wall. And prior to doing that, I want to take off this front panel so I don't damage it. The way you do that is you simply rotate this piece of the front panel forward like this. It has the filter sitting right there. At the bottom of that piece of the panel, there are 3 tangs that sit right here. For this part of the front panel, to remove it, you remove that 1 Phillips screw right there, and then there's a series of clips. 1 there at the top, 1 there, and 2 down here. 1 here and on the opposite side. To release these clips, you depress or press in this part of the panel and pull it forward like that. At the top, you do the same thing. You depress that area of the tang and pull it forward, and then it releases this part of the panel. You guys will have a series of either screws and clips, or just screws or just clips that you need to locate to release in order to get your front panel off. I'll caution you and say that you need to be very careful when removing these front panels because they're plastic. And over time they age and become very brittle, so it's easy to break the tangs or the front cover itself. Okay, y'all, I'm going to show you how I clean an air conditioner. This is you can actually use it as a wall or a window unit. I've already taken what's called the sleeve off. That's the sleeve, y'all. You remove 4 screws to release the sleeve from the unit itself. 1 there, 1 right back there, and 2 on this side at the bottom. And then the unit just slides out. You have to tug at it a bit because these little impressions from the screws right here to the inside hold on to that unit a bit. So what I'm going to do first is vacuum all this out, vacuum all this debris out, and then I'm going to use some water to clean it off. There's no worries getting water inside this unit. I'm going to protect this motor though and put plastic bags over it and not shoot into the motor. That would not be a good idea, y'all. That's a compressor. You can put water on that. That's not an issue. You don't want to get water anywhere in the electronics. Don't get it on the capacitor or any of the internals electronics. So I'm just going to put a big bag plastic over here. I'm going to vacuum this. This is very clean. If I cleaned it with anything, I would use, it's a foam. It's called, I believe it's called condenser coil cleaner. You can get it at Home Depot, Lowe's, on Amazon. All it is cleaner. You shake the can, comes in a can, you spray it, it foams up. What it's supposed to do, and I believe it does do it because I've used it before and it did a good job. The foam goes into these fins right here and it pushes the dirt out, and then you can just wipe it off with that, like that, with a clean paper towel. So you don't push it in, you wipe it away. But back here, you're a-okay cleaning with water, except for, of course, cover your motor. Cover that up and don't shoot water in it. You can shoot water in these fins and on those fins on the inside. When you use the vacuum cleaner to clean either the fins in the back or these front fins, you don't want to rest it on it. If you do, very lightly and just vacuum down, right? Don't vacuum side to side. These are very fragile fins and they need to stay in the place that they're at, the placement they are in. You don't want to bend them. They can also cut you, so you have to be very careful. If you don't have a filter on this, all the gunk that you see on your filter gets into your unit. It'll plug these fins up. That is just a recipe for a disaster. It will ruin a unit. It'll kill an AC. So just be careful. Always use a filter and clean it or change it frequently. If this were dirtier, I'd take some of that foam, spray it on, let it expand out, and wipe it away. But it's not that dirty. Y'all, be careful with these lines. Don't puncture them. Be very careful when you're working around them. That has your Freon in it, or refrigerant. It makes the air conditioner cool. That's your compressor. So be very careful around this area and any electronics. Okay, y'all, I vacuumed it out. All in through there and all back through there. And it's quitting time. See? Blah, blah, blah. I'll be feeding you in a minute. Vacuumed it all through there, and tomorrow I'm going to shoot it with some water. It's just the barbecue's done. It's time to eat. And the feral kitty over there. Hi, Gray. He's right there. He's meowing and says he wants to eat. So I have to wrap it so he can come over here and get some food. So back on it tomorrow with some water. Okay, y'all. I'm going to wash this off now with some water and a little bit of soap that's in this sprayer. Before I do, I want to explain to you so you understand the importance of keeping this area clean, these fins clean, which is the evaporator, and the back fins clean. And on the inside, and I'll show you that in a minute, this is the condenser. What happens, y'all, is the heat from your home goes through these fins, these aluminum fins, and hits these coils. These coils are filled with refrigerant, and that refrigerant absorbs the heat from your home. It changes the refrigerant in these coils from a liquid state to a gaseous state. It then travels back along the compressor side to the condenser, which is this part of your AC. This has fins on it on the outside here and on the inside that I'll show you in a minute. But when that refrigerant that's really hot, it's a very hot state now, reaches this outside condenser, it cools, the outside air cools that. The heat is dissipated. And the fan is engaged and it helps dissipate that heat from these coils. That refrigerant then returns to a liquid state, goes from the gaseous state to a liquid state, and the cycle starts all over again. But I want to show you why it's important to keep these fins, these aluminum fins, right here, and on the front clean. On the outside here, they don't look so bad, right? But that's not where the air from the outside is sucked into. When this sleeve, what's called a sleeve to the AC unit, is on, that air conditioner, air is coming in here, here, and here on that side. That air through those vents is sucked in, and this fan is engaged, and it blows out the hot air so that it can cool off those coils. To show you, a lot of people focus on these fins. So they'll water these down, clean them off, and think it's good. But check this out. We'll see if you can see it with a flashlight. Let me get you in there. I really don't know what you can see, y'all, because it's tight quarters. But you see how dirty those fins are? They're filthy. It's like a sweater on that air conditioner. It can't breathe. Can't do its job effectively. So what you want to do is use the detergent, the spray bottle with the detergent and water, to hit those, spray them, and loosen that dirt. Right there. You want to loosen that gunk and dirt off, and then rinse it off from the outside in, not the inside out, because that will just impress that dirt into those fins. Not a good idea. That is why it's very important to keep your coils, your fins clean. It's got to be able to breathe to do its job. So what I'm going to do is wet those fins down from the inside, on the inside. Let it chill for a bit and loosen up that dirt. And then I'm going to hit those fins on the outside here through, and hopefully some of that dirt will come off and gunk, and I think it will. I've cleaned this before and that's what I've done. But you do not want to hit this too hard with any stream of water because you can bend these delicate fins. There are fin straighteners you can get, plastic tools, you can look for them online. They're called fin straighteners and they work really well. So it just looks like a comb. You impress in here, they have different sizes depending on your fins, and you go straight down and it'll straighten out these fins for you. But you do not want crushed fins. That's another bad news bears moment. That is why it's imperative to keep these fins clean so it can breathe and do its job and not overheat, or you'll kill your compressor and then you'll need a new AC. So, all right, here we go, y'all. I'm going to start cleaning. So what I'm going to do is take this bottle, spray it everywhere. As you can see, I have wrapped very well 2 plastic bags, both the cord and let it down. So water, if it drips, it'll drip this way, but I'm not going to hit this area with any water. And I've covered the electronics. There's a capacitor on mine right under there. That's tucked in. The only place I'll get water is down here. I'm not worried about the ground wire. And I've covered the motor. So I'm not going to hit that directly. That's the fan motor, the blower motor. There's your fan. There's your motor. You don't want to get water in that component. Though it does sit outside, it's not a good idea to get that wet or shoot water in it. I will be cleaning the fan and all down here with no worries of getting water anywhere around here. I'm also going to shoot in here with some water and clean it up. I've got a brush. I've got an old sponge here, rag. I've got some other brushes here and dental tools and that sort of stuff if I need them. You'll need a toothbrush. That comes in handy. All right, y'all, let's see how this goes. All right, y'all, this is the temperature sensor. There's no worries about getting that wet. Just tells the air conditioner how hot it is. You also want to make sure that none of this is plugged down here or over here. If your air conditioner is leaking to the inside of your home, it's likely because this tray down here, see this black tray? You need to keep this tray down here unobstructed so the water can drain out to back here. I have these blocks under here so that this unit is slanted backwards. As I clean it, it'll come out, the water will come out there. I'm doing that because I don't want it to go back on the rod of that blower motor back there. So the water will go this way. See that dirty water? That's what's coming out. What I'm doing, so you can see up close, is taking this, going in there, where your fan's located, right back there. Just like that. Going here, cleaning those coils, and hitting where this pan is down here. Just like that. Along here, but remember, not up near your electronics up here. The soapy water in the spray bottle will only get you so far. There'll be areas where you have to do a little scrubbing, but this is taking all this off and out of here. See that? It's taking all that dirt out. This is good to do once a year. If you live in a really dusty area, maybe twice. I'm just putting light water through there. And in a bit here, I'm going to start hitting those internal fins down, direct the water down. So if y'all's fins are really dirty, you don't want to push this in. Mine aren't, I vacuumed them out. You want to go from the top down like that, right? So it pushes it down and not in there. Not sure what you can see, y'all. See how that water, that soap, that spray we put on, and the water going through that is loosening that gunk and getting it off. You want to spray from the outside in initially so that that's not forced into those fins. The gunk is coming off those fins, but it's getting stuck down there, right there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shoot it to the opposite end. I'm going to shoot this gunk to the opposite end, angle it out, and shoot it out. If I have to, I'll remove the shroud, but that stuff has to come out. Okay, y'all, I removed the top right here to this shroud. All it required was removing one screw over here. And the reason I took that off, I'll show you. See all that stuff down there? I'm going to get that out and get those coils clean. And I'm going to shoot water straight down. Not into it, directly into it, straight down. Or use, what I'll likely do first, is use either this brush right here that can get in there, or any number of those. But I don't want to shoot that debris and dirt back in to that AC. So it takes a bit longer to take the shroud off, but as you can see, look at all that. That would have just remained in that air conditioning unit. So you can get a better idea down there now how dirty it gets. It's like a sweater on those fins, which are meant to cool the coils. These coils that go through, and as you can see, it would be very difficult for it to breathe very, very well and do its job unless you clean that gunk off. Watch it. Water's coming through, you see it? You gotta get all that gunk off. So I'm gonna try a series of brushes. Let's try together. Y'all can buy these online. They're not expensive. eBay, Amazon, blah, blah. Okay. See that stuff coming off with that brush? Just go like that. Y'all see that coming off? Right in there? Just loosening it so I can get it off. See that? Just trying to pull away from it and not get it back in those fins. Straight down, not across, because it'll push it in. Straight down. See it taking it off? Ooh, look at that. See that, y'all? Just flick it off your brush and keep going. That's the sweater. Look how thick that is. That's the sweater that won't allow your condenser unit to breathe very well. Gotta come off. I think the camera can pick it up. Y'all see that stuff down there? It's gotta come out. Gotta come out, gotta come off. I'm gonna try this guy right here. It's to clean under a refrigerator, y'all. It's taking some stuff off. You see that? Look at all that stuff it's taken off. See it? All right, folks, I've loosened the shroud now to get that stuff off, as you can see down there. You see that in there? Now I'm going to be able to get that off and shoot it out that way. This shroud cannot come completely off because of this fan right here. But that gives me a good way to de-sweater that, get that gunk off, take it off, and then shoot it out directly over there. The shroud pulls away a bit like that. Can y'all see that? That's where I'm shooting it out through. Otherwise, that gunk just gets right back on and causes a sweater. See how good those are looking, y'all? It's got a bit of work to do here. Let's give you a bird's eye view. Where it's sticking right now is at the bottom, right around here, y'all, because it's hard to get that. Now I'll be able to get that with the shroud out of the way and shoot it out, because what was happening is it just hangs out here at the bottom of the water, sticks right back on. All right, y'all, it's later in the afternoon. I had to go to an appointment, so I'm back cleaning this. I don't know if you guys can see right through there. See that gunk? I'm going to spray that through from that side in so it doesn't push that further in to the fins. I'm going to spray from the outside in, but it's getting really clean right down there. If y'all can see that. A lot of that gunk that was in there before, right back there, is now gone. The best way I've come up with to do it is to release this shroud just a couple of screws. You can't pull it off because of the fan and the rod on the fan right there. But you can get a little gap right over through there, y'all. Right through there to shoot all that gunk that gets there. It also helps if you can dump the air conditioner, or not dump it, tip it. Lift it up and tip it that way. So that all, and back a little bit so all that stuff rolls out. Okay, y'all, see how clean those fins are now? I'm going to keep spraying. The name of the game is keep spraying from the outside in, and use a little brush to get the sweatery, gunky stuff off. And then she should be pretty good. All right, y'all, I'm going to call that good. Those are really clean. The gunk is off them. It's off the fins. That stuff over there is not the sweater stuff. It's sort of a discoloration. I'm not sure what that is, but all the gunk is off the fins in the front and in the back. Now what I'm going to do is dry her up as best I can. Let her sit overnight and dry out, and then I'm going to come and manually with a dental tool straighten some of these fins. That's the way it came, so I'm going to straighten those fins so it can breathe really easy. That's why you want those fins straight. Again, you can get a fin straightener online. Amazon has them, probably eBay. You can also get that foam, condenser foam for an air conditioner on Amazon, I think eBay too, Home Depot, Lowe's. She's very clean. Hope you guys can see that in there. All the gunk at the bottom is gone. Just rust remains. And that was just a series of spraying it and tipping it over and clearing out the water and starting again. Or spraying it out that area. Boop. Right over there, y'all. So, okay, she'll sit overnight and dry. And what I'm going to do is, here's another tip for y'all. I'm going to let her wick out moisture overnight. And this is how I did another video on it. If you don't like the water standing in your drain pan here, in your wall or window AC, you put a little piece of paper towel, right, just like that. Squish it down with your finger. And watch how quick that starts to wick up the moisture and remove it for you. You see that, y'all? See the water just coming down? So I'm going to let it continue to drain out overnight. So in the morning, it won't take long at all. It's just saturating that paper towel and it'll start to drip. And I have this little waste paper basket here that I put under that AC unit. You see that paper towel right there? This is what I do, y'all. I put that there under the paper towel. Y'all can see my other video on removing water from the pan of an AC unit. And it just drips right into there. Make sure you have a collection basin or it'll drip down, get on your siding. It can rot your siding, discolor it, mess up the paint. No good. No bueno. Okay, so watch this. See that? There you go, y'all. It's already wicking the moisture out. So it'll continue to drip overnight. And when I come out in the morning, look at that. And if you guys want to drip to make it drain quicker in a drain pan, you can put another one over here, wherever you can get it in. But look at that water draining. So in the morning when I come out, all this will be dry because of that little paper towel. Okay, y'all. It's the next morning. As you can see, the sweater's gone from that cleaning. There's rust that remains, but everything's been cleaned off. I removed the bags from the electrical cord, and the motor, and I just clean those with a moist towel. Sweater is gone. And she's clean. You can see through those fins now. Right back over there in this area. Sweater gone. And in there. Okay, y'all, just a little information here. What I do is I take silicone spray. It's a lubricant, doesn't matter what brand. Just buy one that has a nozzle on it like this, so that you can put it into this nozzle, and it's got a little shooter, so you can get in tight spaces. Otherwise, you can just spray it from here, it goes everywhere. But what I do is I put it in a small container like this with a Q-tip. And then before I put these screws in, I'm going to put a little silicone lubricant on the screws before I sink them, so that they're easier to get out next time. It protects them a little bit from rusting. I take a dental tool. It's hard for me to see right now because of the sun, so I hope you can see this. I'd recommend that you can use like a toothpick. I've done this before, so I use a little dental tool to straighten these fins. The easiest thing for you to do is get a fin straightening kit. They're anywhere from $10 to $20. I think it's worth it. If you smash these fins, you got to straighten them so it can breathe easy. If you see me just going along, when they're bent like this, it's really hard to get them back to what they were, and you don't want to get too aggressive because you can cut those fins. You don't want to do that. So you just raise them up as best you can so they can breathe, so the air can get through. So that's what I'm doing. I'll work on that one. But you just take it with the toothpick, push it over like that, y'all. See that? Just help those fins out. Again, don't look for perfection. You're not going to get them back to the way they were before once they're squished. You're just looking for some space in between them so that the air can move freely and help out your air conditioner when it's working, the compressor and all of that. So that's all I'm doing. So I'd recommend that you get a fin straightening kit. I haven't seen them at Home Depot or Lowe's. You can get them on Amazon. You can get them on eBay, I'm sure. And if I find a link of the ones I've used, I put that in the description bar thing. That's how I clean an air conditioner, a window, or a wall unit. I hope it helps, and happy DIY.